Hello everybody, it's Tom and Jerry fan 64 here, and I was going to do this video on December 25th, but I decided I'm going to do it today. It's now time to do my top 21 favorite movies of 2021. And before I go into the list, I do have some honorable mentions, which I wrote on this piece of cardboard, and they are Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Those Who Wish Me Dead, Cry Macho, Black Widow, Mortal Kombat Legends, Battle of the Realms, Reminiscence, Batman The Long Halloween Part 1, Batman The Long Halloween Part 2, No Sudden Move, and The Suicide Squad. So now, without further ado, let's get to the top 21 list. Number 21 is a movie that I watched yesterday, and the movie came out yesterday, well, technically Tuesday. Number 21 is The Matrix Resurrections. I didn't absolutely love this movie, but it did make my top 21 list, believe it or not. This was still a great sequel. And I'll talk about some of these movies, but I'm not going to talk about all of them. I was originally going to put the honorable mentions I was going to put the honorable mentions in the description box, but I decided not to. See, The Matrix Resurrections was definitely a big improvement over the Matrix Revolutions, which I still enjoyed. I still considered Revolutions a guilty pleasure, but it wasn't the greatest. But this one is definitely probably my ranking of the Matrix movies is the first one, then Reloaded, then Resurrections, and then Revolutions. This movie I'm probably going to get on DVD because I don't really need the Matrix movies on Blu-ray, to be honest. I would love to get the first one on Blu-ray, but we'll see. So The Matrix Resurrections was a really great movie. It's not the best in the series, but it's the more underrated one. At number 20 is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. I enjoyed this movie. It wasn't as good as the first two Conjuring movies. I kind of wish James Wan directed this movie, but he only produced it, but that's okay. I do hope to get this movie on Blu-ray. This was definitely one of the more underrated horror movies of the year. And by the way, by the way, guys, before I go on to the rest of the movies, this is my personal list, so there might be some that a lot of people hate, but there are some on the list that a lot of people hate, but I enjoyed, so just to let you guys know that. So yeah, number 20 is definitely The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. And at number 19, and please don't hate me for this, but the number 19 is Tom and Jerry, the movie from 2021. This movie I actually saw in the theaters. It was a great movie. It was a really, really good movie. It's not a great movie. I did rewatch this movie on HBO Max. It's not the greatest, but it's still a really good movie. I thought it was really good. I kind of wish there was a lot more Tom and Jerry in this movie, but I did like the live action cast. I think this movie, I don't like this movie as, I might like this as a little bit more than the 1992 movie, but yeah, it's nowhere near as good as the TV show, but I still really enjoyed this movie a lot. So yeah, at number 18 is Jungle Cruise. I know you got a good amount of you guys are probably like, why is this movie at Jungle Cruise at number 18? There was a lot more movies that I actually enjoyed more. At number 18 is definitely Jungle Cruise, one of the greatest Dwayne Johnson movies ever. It's not one of his best, but it's definitely one of his most underrated. It actually is one of his best movies in a while. And I can't wait for the sequel to this movie. So yeah, at number 17, excuse me, not number 8. At number 17 is another movie that a lot of people hate, but I actually really enjoyed this movie a lot. And number 17 is Space Jam: A New Legacy. This movie isn't as good as the first Space Jam, that's for darn sure, but this sequel is still great. I liked that they visited a lot of Warner Brothers properties, and even New Line, like The Mask is in it. Sorry about that. So yeah, This is a really, really underrated sequel. It isn't my favorite movie of the year by any means, but it's definitely number 17. It was still a really good movie. And I do hope to get this movie on DVD and along with the first one. So yeah, at number 16 is F9 The Fast Saga. A lot of people didn't like this movie either, but I really enjoyed F9 The Fast Saga. This movie, kind of like Jungle Cruise and the Tom and Jerry movie from 2021, I saw this movie in the theaters, and it was a really, really good movie. It was a really great movie. I thought this was a big improvement over The Fate of the Furious, even though I still like The Fate of the Furious, but I thought The Fate of the Furious was definitely the weakest of them all. But this one was great. I really wish that Dwayne Johnson was back. I hope he comes back as Luke Hobbs in Fast and the Furious 10 and 11. And I'm definitely getting this movie on Blu-ray, most likely. Definitely on Blu-ray. So yeah, at number 15 is Cruella. This one not very many people talk about, but I don't know if it's just me, but I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I thought Emma Stone did a great portrayal of Cruella de Vil. It's not as good as the original, and I don't think Emma Stone's as good as Glenn Close, but she's still great. I've seen every single 101 Dalmatians movie. Probably my ranking would be 101 Dalmatians, the original, then the 1996 remake, then Cruella, then 101 Dalmatians, Two Patches, London Adventure, and then 102 Dalmatians. 102 Dalmatians was the only one I didn't like. I did not like that movie at all. So yeah, but Cruella was a great live-action remake. Probably one of the best, honestly. It's either that or The Jungle Book. At number 14 is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the new animated movie that was released on Disney+. And by the way, guys, I'm not counting Home Sweet Home Alone on my list of 2021 movies. I was going to put it, but I thought the movie was okay. I was going to add Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, another honorable mention is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Even though I was kind of debating on putting that on my list, but because it's a director's cut, but I'm counting it anyway for the hell of it. But anyways, let's get back to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This was a great movie. I think this is better than the 2010 movie. I liked the animation, but their main criticism I have is the short running time. It's only 58 minutes. It's only 58 minutes. I wish it could have been at least 90 minutes like the first one was from 2010. I do hope this movie gets a DVD release, but it's pretty doubtful because this is a Disney Plus exclusive. So yeah, at number 13 is Mortal Kombat 2021. This is the reboot of the Mortal Kombat series, and this is a great movie. I had so much high hope for this, and believe it or not, I actually used to play Mortal Kombat. I played it at an arcade at one point when I was younger. And it's a really great game. I really want to play the games of Mortal Kombat. Probably my ranking of the Mortal Kombat movies goes the 2021 movie, then the 94 movie. 95 movie, whether. Yeah, 95 movie. Then Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge. Then Battle of the Realms, and then Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I thought Mortal Kombat Annihilation was god-awful. So yeah. At number 13 is definitely Mortal Kombat 2021. It was great. So yeah, at number 12 is Ron's Gone Wrong. This is a great animated movie. I really wish that this movie did well in the box office, but unfortunately it did not. It's a really great movie. It's probably one of the best animated movies, one of the top best animated movies of 2021. And this is the very first animated movie to be released under the new name 20th Century Studios. And we all know that 20th Century Studios used to be 20th Century Fox. So yeah, at number 11 is In the Heights. This is a great movie. And you're probably saying, why isn't In the Heights higher on the list? That's because there's a lot more movies that I enjoyed more. This is probably one of the best musicals of 2021, and and I will be watching the movie Encanto next tomorrow. But I'm probably gonna leave that out of the list. So yeah. At number 11 is definitely In the Heights. It's a really sad movie. It gets sad in some parts, but really, really great movie. So yeah, number 10 is Malignant, which is directed by James Wan. The movie Malignant, I originally was on number 20 on the list, but I'm starting to really appreciate it a lot more. It's a really, really interesting movie. One of James Wan's most creative movies he's done since The Conjuring and Insidious. And Saw. Can't forget Saw. This was a really, really great movie. Very intriguing, and it definitely kept me entertained. One of the best supernatural horror movies I've seen in a long time. At number 9 is King Richard, one of Will Smith's best performances ever. I love Will Smith, which is why I saw in King Richard, and plus it's a sports movie. It's a really, really great movie. Will Smith gives the best performance of his career, in my opinion. One of the best performances since The Pursuit of Happiness, which is another one of my favorites. This is a really, really great movie. So yeah, number 9 is definitely King Richard. At number 8 is Luca. This is the latest Pixar movie. This is a great movie. And I can't wait for the Lightyear and Turning Red, which are 2 Pixar movies that are coming out in 2022. So yeah, this is a great movie. Luca was a great surprise. I watched this movie the day it came out on Disney Plus, and it's a great movie. I was worried that it wasn't going to get a Blu-ray, but the good news is Luca did get a Blu-ray release. I'm planning on getting the DVD probably. And I'm going to do these last 7 movies I'm going to do quick. Number 7 is Raya and the Last Dragon. So yeah, that was a great movie. I'm not going to talk about the rest of these movies, but the top 3. Number 6 is Godzilla vs. Kong. Again, you're probably saying, why isn't this movie higher? It's because there was 5 more movies that I enjoyed more than that. But Godzilla vs. Kong, don't get me wrong, is a great movie, and it's definitely has one of the most badass fight scenes in any Godzilla movie. The fight scenes between Godzilla and King Kong, so badass, excuse my language. At number 5 is The Many Saints of Newark. This is another movie that, for some reason, it got positive reviews, but the movie bombed. I don't know why in the hell The Many Saints of Newark failed. It was a Sopranos prequel, but, excuse my language, but yeah. That really irritates me about some movies, that despite getting positive reviews, they bomb at the box office. I think it's because of the HBO Max release or something. Number 4 is Judas and the Black Messiah. Another great movie. In the top 3, guys, now let's go on to the top 3. Number 3 is the latest James Bond movie, No Time to Die. This is definitely my favorite Daniel Craig Bond movie. It now beats Casino Royale. I do hope to watch Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre sometime. I do have Casino Royale on DVD. I do hope to get No Time to Die on DVD. So yeah, sorry I had to use my remotes for something, but so yeah, number 2, the top 2 best movies of 2021 are, number 2 is Dune. Really, really great movie. One of Denis Villeneuve's most creative and most beautiful visual effects movie of the year. I think it's one of his best movies, and I can't wait for Dune Part 2 that's coming out in October of 2023. So yeah, and the number 1 best movie of 2021, in my opinion, is a movie that I watched twice in theaters, and it's Spider-Man No Way Home. This one, by the way, Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings was originally my number 1 favorite movie until Spider-Man No Way Home, Dune, and No Time to Die beat it. Spider-Man No Way Home is probably, it's the best Marvel movie ever, in my opinion. It's just as good as Captain America Civil War. This is probably the best Spider-Man movie that was ever released. next to the Tobey Maguire movies, the first two. So yeah, I love this movie Spider-Man No Way Home so much that I watched it twice in theaters. I watched it once with my foster dad Ron and my family, and the second time I watched it a day later with my teacher. So yeah, that is it for my top 21 favorite movies of 2021, which I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're generous enough, please consider leaving a like on this video and subscribe, plus it really helps out. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye everybody, adios.